Yo, peace was good. Welcome to another hip hop review. This is part 210. Last time I did a review was 4 months ago. The last video that I did a review on was L.E.'s GOAT album from 2000. So I do apologize for the life that happened to me pretty much moved out of my house, work, beats, reviews. I mean, not reviews. The podcast I'm part of. You know what I mean? Speaker Cloud Podcast. Shout out to everybody in Speaker Cloud Podcast. You know what I mean? And shout out to all the haters. You know who you are. But I had to throw that out there. I'm sorry. But yeah. Tonight I'll be reviewing Fat Joe's third album, Don Cartagena, released in 1998. His third album. Um, you guys know who Fat Joe is. I did a review on his first two albums, Represent, and I did Jealous Ones Envy. I did that a couple years ago. If you just go on my channel, just dig through, just type in Fat Joe, it should pop up. So right after Jealous Ones Envy, uh, Jealous One Envy pretty much birthed a star in the making, Fat Joe, and obviously Armageddon too. But Big Pun being the most important one. Um, it birthed the career of Fat Joe with the song "Watch Out" being his first appearance on Wax, and then a year later, his single "Envy" came out as a single, but the B side, as Chuck D would say, the B side wins again. And on the B side is a song called Firewater, and that was a posse cut featuring Fat Joe himself, Raekwon, Armageddon, and Big Pun. Pun killed that shit. And I love that shit. Definitely sounded like something that could have been on Capital Punishment, but that's neither here or there. And then in 1997, Big Pun was also featured off the books of Beatnuts' Stone Crazy album, with the biggest single of the album. And yeah, in 1998, he dropped this album right here, Don Cartagena. All right. So, I'll get down. I'm going to go do some of the tracks. But before I start, there's a couple singles of the album. I believe there's four singles of the album. The singles are Find Out, the self titled track, Don Cartagena, John Blaze, and Bet Your Man Can't. Those are the singles of the albums, four singles. All right. You know how I get down. I'm going to show you what the album looks like. Fat Joe, you see him and his crew right here, Terror Squad, but at least some of Terror Squad. He's in front of the courthouse, answering questions from the reporters and all that good stuff. Pretty cool, you know what I mean? You see the back, pretty much you see, him and some of Terror Squad, um, chilling in the courtroom, in the courthouse, I should say, in the lobby by the stairs and shit. Pretty dope. All right, show you what the album looks like, what C looks like. Sorry, I got like two copies, including this one. So this is like the closest one by me, so I just had to get it. So you can see the CD, got like a big ass moon making a grin and shit. That's pretty cool. Yellow, pretty dope. You see Fat Joe in the back of his head, talking on the cell phone, big ass Motorola joints and shit. Man, gotta love the '90s. All right. All right, then you see Fat Joe in like a silk suit, you know what I mean? Has like that pajama look to it, you know what I mean? Got the album credits, the features and the producers and all that good stuff. See Fat Joe wearing glasses. And the cool part too, you see like Fat Joe in a white suit in the middle. You see a whole bunch of Fat Joes in the background as judges. I thought that was pretty cool. Let me show you that again. I think that's pretty dope. All right. Oh, gotta go through the features. Bugging. All right, there's a couple features on the album: Big Pun, Prospect, Armageddon, Puff Daddy, aka Diddy, uh, Nas, Jadakiss, Raekwon, Charlie Baltimore, Murder Inc., Cuban Link, Triple Seis, Noriega, Terror Squad, Armageddon, Lazy Bone, and Crazy Bone. Those are the features on the album. Producers on the album are Mac 10, which I think is weird, L.E.S, uh, Dame Grease, Molly Mall, Young Lord, dope producer. At one point, he was part of the whole Hitman. Yeah, back in the day, back in the late '90s. Baby Paul of Beat Minus Fame, Ski, aka Ski Beats, Buck Wild, DJ Premier, aka Primo, J.O., I'm not sure who that is. Ghetto Pros and the Beat Nuts. Ghetto Pros dope production hip hop producers production trio, which consists of 3 members. Mike Heron of Hydra Entertainment. I think he was like one of the. He was like this. I want to say he was like the CEO of that record label. Pretty dope record label. Vic of Beat Minus Fame. No, excuse me, Beat Nuts Fame. Also Groove Merchants with Godfather Don back in the day, and Juju of Beat Nuts Fame. Uh, who else? Spunk Bigger, Armageddon, Rashad Smith, and Kurt Goldie. Those are the producers of the album. All right, you know how I get down. I'm gonna go through some of the tracks. Just, all right, let's go through the tracks. Track 1, Courtroom Intro. It pretty much starts off with Fat Joe coming out of the courtroom. He's been acquitted of murder. Reporters asking a whole bunch of questions, and he starts getting annoyed by the questions by the reporters. So he gets his man Flex, like, yo, Flex, shoot that motherfucker. So he shoots the reporter. I thought it was pretty funny, pretty dope. Dope way to start the album. Kind of sets the tone of the album. It has like that real mafioso type of feel. You know what I mean? Pretty dope. Track 2, The Crack Attack, pretty dope. One of my favorite tracks of the album. Dope way to start the album. Definitely has like that primo feel to it. That was produced by L.E.S. Pretty dope. Love the piano sample, the drums, the scratching. That's why, and then when you listen to it, you can tell it definitely has that primo feel to it. I really love that. Love that joint. That's one of my favorite tracks of the album. I like the line by Fat Joe when he says, "Quarter marriage stays slugger with carriage, never offered marriage. When my corpse is carried, my mama get all my cabbage. Terror squad is savage, draped in the finest of fabrics, floss like it's a habit. 8 shot up in my Louis baggage." Woo! Killed that shit. Very, very, very dope. You can tell listening to this album, he's already lyrically sharp. Very fucking dope. I really enjoyed that. That was a Crack Attack. That's track 2. Track 3, Triplets, featuring Pun, Big Pun, on what he was known as Big Punisher, and Prospect. That was produced by Dame Grease. Very dope beat from Dame Grease. Something a little bit different from Dame Grease, because it doesn't sound like something that he would normally do, but it just sounds dope either way. It's like really dark and sinister. Very, very dope. I like the line by Fat Joe when he says, "Not only strong, but we loyal and royalty treated. Quadriplegic, any squad that want to squad when I'm heated." Fucking dope. I love that. Pun when he says, "I bring the pain to your chest that'll make you question your threshold. Flex you like you've been forced. Still bless you like a chest cold. We destined to explode. That's why I stay on flip mode." Fucking dope. I love that. Killed that shit. Very dope joint right there. Track 4, Find Out. One of my favorite tracks off the album. That features Armageddon on the hook. Very fucking dope. That was produced by Marley Marl. One of my favorite tracks off the album. I love the line by Fat Joe when he says, "Blow out your tweeters, having dinner with world leaders. Terror squad so much they be catched with dark Caesars, fast cars and millimeters, gold cars and visas, giving non-believers way to fly with Jesus. Here's my thesis: Enterprise break the block to pieces." Woo! Killed that shit. It's funny because Marley Marl said in an interview on Juan Epstein a couple years ago, Juan Epstein being Cypher Sounds and Peter Rosenberg of High 97 back in the day. Drop that nigga. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so anyways, on an interview, Marley Marl was saying that the song originally was a Big Pun song. It was supposed to be for sorry. Yeah, it was originally supposed to be for Capital Punishments for Big Pun, which is crazy enough because Pun would have killed that shit. Well, he said there's a version of Pun with Pun and Armageddon in the vaults. All I'm saying is we need that. We need that, Marley. We need for you to put that out. We gotta hear that shit. Pun and Armageddon on that beat. Oh my god. That easy could have been on Capital Punishment, but it wasn't. It is what it is. But either way, Fat Joe killed it. because they were in the studio and Fat Joe heard the beat, he wanted it, so he took it from Pun, you know, that kind of thing. But I do want to hear Pun's version. I want to hear that. So, man, whew, I can just imagine the shit that Molly has in the vaults, man. And the world needs that, man. We gotta hear that. So yeah, let's find out. Um, Again, one of the singles of the album that was like more of an underground single, that kind of thing. Pretty dope. Track five, Don Cartagena self-titled track featuring Puff Daddy or Diddy. It was like the first official single of the album. Dope video too. That was produced by the Young Lord. Um, I like the line when he says, "Brothers died and master and mothers cried at wakes. These are the breaks. Curtis blow your head off like Jake. So take heed and read between the lines. Ain't no cheating minds. Play haters never want to see me shine. Fucking dope. I love that. He killed that shit. Love that line. Let me get a swig of water. Ah, pretty dope. All right. So that's Don Carter Jr.'s Soul Child track. Very dope joint right there. Track six, My World featuring Big Pun. Um, it uses the same sample as Heavy D. Is a Luther Vandross sample. It's the same sample that Heavy D used for Got Me Waiting off that Nothing But Love album that came out in '94. One of my favorite albums from Heavy D, as well as Blue Funk. Fucking dope shit right there. Um, I like the line when Pun says, Pun is on the chorus. Um, I like the line when Fragile says, "You don't want to compare counts. Pull your stash out. The ultraviolet from my ice will make you will make you pass out. My niggas force blackouts. Shoot up your skate key. Shoot up your skate key. You love to hate me. Pushing the dope ass ride doing 180. Fucking dope. That shit is dope. He killed that shit. That's My World by Fat Joe. Track seven, John Blaze. That's another single off the album. Um, that's another song that was a single. There's a video for it. One of the biggest, one of Fat Joe's biggest like songs as far as like um, posse cuts and stuff like that. Because to me, that song was kind of like going head to head with "Banned from TV" by Noriega. You know what I mean? To me, it was like low key competition with that song. Very dope song. They both, everybody killed that shit. That was produced by Ski Beats or Ski. Um, that features Nas, Big Pun, Jadakiss, and Raekwon. Man, Pun, yo, his verse, oh my fucking god. My opinion, he had the best verse in this whole track. I love the line when he said, Grand Imperial, college material, insane criminal, the same nigga who known to blow your brain out. Let me read that again. Grand Imperial, college material, insane criminal, the same nigga who known to blow out your brain mineral. I reign subliminal inside your visual. Try to supply your physical with my spiritual side of this lyrical. I'll appear in your dreams like Freddie do. No kidding you. Even if I stuttered, I will still shit on you. Woo! Chill that shit. Yo, pun is that. Yo, niggas hate on pun, son. It's because the nigga's Puerto Rican. That's what it is. He's Spanish. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna keep it a buck. But pun is that nigga, man. Rest in peace. I'm so sad that he died, man. It's just unbelievable. But man, yeah, that's John Blaze. Everybody else did their thing, but I feel like Pun had the best verse on that track. That was track seven, John Blaze. Definitely one of hip hop's illest posse cuts. Track eight, Walk On By featuring Charlie Baltimore. That was produced by Buck Wild. Um, in this song he talks about hoes and that kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's just how he treats them and shit like that. There's a funny line where he said, you know the type, damn dirty is right. She even did it with dice and made a dildo out of ice. I love that. That's a pretty funny line. Another line where he says, hey yo, I treat them like how they act, yo. Behave like a hooker and play like a mad hoe. Rumor has it that you take it in the asshole and wrap your lips like around my dick like a lasso. Pretty funny, man. That is pretty funny, man. Not one of my favorite tracks of the album, but it's pretty decent. Charlie Baltimore, pretty dope, decent rapper. I would love to get my hands on a Cold as Ice. I know it's out digitally, but I would like for her to put out a hard copy. Because that album goes in. That shit goes hard. Love that joint. So that was track 8, Walk On By. Track 9, That Gangsta Shit. That was produced by Primo. Um, the beat for me was okay. I'm pretty hard on Primo because he's one of my favorite producers of all time. But there's times like where he's kind of lazy when it comes to certain beats. It was kind of a lazy track on Primo's end, but I think Primo did that because he wanted to give Joe room to breathe. So that's why it's kind of like simple. Let the MC breed and stuff like that. So I do understand why he did that, but it is what it is. Um, I've heard better beats from Primo, but I do like the line when he says, "But I lay low, create flows for the pesos. Now we got extra hoes waiting to chase shows. I take foes and break them down to minerals. We went from streets, corner thugs to white collar criminals." Yeah, I thought that was pretty dope. That's like my favorite line of that track. I love that. That's track 9, That Gangsta Shit. Track 10, Bet Your Man Can't, featuring Big Pun, Cuban Link, and Triple Seis. That was produced, I believe that was the second, the final single of the album. To me it's kind of reminiscent of Still Not a Player, you know what I mean, by Big Pun. That was featured on the Capital Punishment, one of the singles off the album. Not one of my favorite songs of the album, and this song is no different. It's pretty much like the same feel. You know what I mean? So it's similar beat wise. Again, that was produced by I think Chaos. He did KO, whatever his name is. He did the beat for that. Again, not one of my favorite. It has like that real commercial feel to it, but I do like the line um by Fat Joe when he says, I got a fly team with me. I got a flying team. Me and my guys gleam like high beams, making the killing of fiends with pipe dreams. That was pretty dope. That was pretty dope. But the beat, I just can't fly with. It's like he's on that real commercial shit. It's not my favorite. Like I said, it's very reminiscent of "Still Not a Player" by Big Pun. So, and that song itself, I'm not crazy about either. So that's track 10. Bet Your Man Can't. Track 11, Misery Needs Company, featuring Noriega, aka Nori. Love this song, very very dope. I love the chemistry between them two, very dope. That was produced by Ghetto Professionals and Beatnuts. Very dope. I love the line. Like I said, one of my favorite tracks. I like the line when Fragile says, "Break your balls like Bahando, call me Donjo, Coke slash Ready Rock, niggas drop a dime dough, booked the 9 o'clock flight to Orlando, so call the killers turn snitches like Gravano." Woo! Killed that shit. He really killed. He was on that real mobster shit on that shit. Really enjoyed that shit right there. That's track 11, Misery Needs Company. Track 12, The Hidden Hand. Man, this is my favorite track off the album. This is my if I had to choose a song, this is definitely my favorite track off the album. Um, is a posse cut featuring the whole Terror Squad. This is the first song that you see Terror Squad produce record as a group together, as a whole. You know what I mean? And then a year later they dropped their first album, the album, by Terror Squad. Very dope. Um, I love the line by Fat Joe when he says, let me get my pen, where it says, "I pray to God I get my uncle out the crack spot. I hear mad shots. Homicide come and play Matlock, but never crack the case because the defendant's a bad cop. You feel me, fame? You feel me, fam? The devil's got a plan. That's why Farrakhan 400 million man up in Washington. The hidden hand even planned this man have me gone hand to hand, killing my own clan. He fucking killed that shit. That's some real shit, man. Because in this song they talk about how the government, just pretty much planned the whole thing of how the ghetto is, drug deal, prostitution, all that shit is a plan from the government for the ghetto for minorities to fail. And that's pretty much what they talk about that. And in that whole line, he talks about that shit. How the government set niggas up, to fail, pretty much. Um, Cuban Link. Oh man, I love his line where he says, "We go for Delve. Fuck the cops' help. I would rather drop shelf and let off shots until my Glock melts. Cause God doesn't. Cause God dealt us a helpless hand. They made us sell the land so the palest man could propel the selfish plan. We can't trust the government. Cause Uncle Sam is smuggling drugs for us to hustle or to suffer him. Woo! We killed that shit. Again, it goes back to what I said. The government fucking setting us to fail. That's just what it is, man. It's some bullshit. So that's track 12, Head in Hand. Love that joint. Classic cut by Terror Squad. Very dope shit right there. Um, Track 13, My Prerogative, featuring Armageddon. This is an Armageddon solo track. Very dope. Armageddon killed it. He killed a dope beat, and the song was produced by Armageddon. He made the beat. I love the line where he says, "Dominant pull out the nine and spit murder. Dominant pull out the nine and spit murder anonymous. The finest really couldn't make me a monogamous promises. First woman China bitch, moving guns out moving guns out of Providence, stacking paper like novelists, complicated like calculus. Woo! He killed that shit. I love that. That's on My Prerogative. That, like I said, that was a Armageddon solo track. Track 14, Good Times. That was produced by Rashad Smith. Rashad Smith, another Bad Boys affiliated producer. Um, he did songs like what songs he did? Doing It by L. Cool J. He's produced yeah, he did Doing It. I want to say he did Who Do You Love, the Lounger remix. He did that, I believe. Um, I believe he did Making Moves with Puff or Craig Mack album, the Project Funk the World. He did a review on that. I think I did a review on that years ago. Definitely check that joint out. But yeah, man, very, very, very dope joint. But getting back to the song Good Times, it features Lazy Bone and Crazy Bone, Bone Thugs and Harmony. Um, in the song, it's just pretty much just about him, everybody having a good time. You don't have to be gangster all the time, that kind of thing. It just talks about that. Um, the song, the beat wise, it definitely sounds like something that could have been on Art of War, by Bone Thugs. Very dope. And this is not the first time that he's collaborated with Bone Thugs. He was actually featured on Flesh and Bones' debut album, Dogs, that dropped in '96, on the song No Mercy, which actually features Big Pun. Very dope song, dope album too. Definitely check that out when you guys get a chance. But it definitely sounds like something that could have been on Art of War. Pretty dope joint. I didn't write any quotables on that, but I thought that was a pretty dope track. And track 15, Squadrons, featured Terror Squad as a posse cut. Um, I think Pun had the best verse on that joint. Um, I like the line where he says, "I'll torture your fragile ass with rhetorical paragraphs. For all you that'll laugh at an historical aftermath. I come equipped, my tongue lips in like 100 clips. Look behind you, I'll blind you like when the sun eclipses." Woo! He killed that shit right there. I thought that was pretty dope, man. And that's pretty much it for the album. Overall, very, very good album. In my opinion, this is definitely Fat Joe's most lyrical album. Definitely one of my favorite albums from Fat Joe. His first three are my favorites. I love this album. You know what I mean? When I first heard it, you know, I was like, holy shit, he definitely stepped his game up. And there's the rumors of Big Pun writing his lyrics as well as Cuban Link. And you can definitely tell because the way he rhymes and stuff, you can definitely tell. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, even if whoever wrote his lyrics, is the way he delivered it is really dope, and he has the vocals for it. Very, very dope. Very underrated. This is that mafioso hip hop that me, my colleagues love. That I'm pretty sure all my hip hop heads love, man. So, um, if you guys like Capital Punishment by Big Pun, you'll definitely enjoy this album. So this album, Capital Punishment, definitely goes together like bread and butter, man. This album is long out of print, but you can get it for dirt cheap. You get it online for cheap. I remember I got my copy. Um, got my copy at FYE. I think like a couple years ago. I got it for like 4.99. So, but yeah, very very good album. Very underrated. I don't really hear too many people talk about this album, but I do believe this was like his breakthrough album, in my personal opinion. But like I said, this is definitely his most lyrical album in his discography. He definitely went in on this album. Like I said, with the help of Big Pun and Capital and Cuban Link, can't go wrong with that, man. But that's pretty much it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that review. Definitely stay tuned for more. All right, peace.